Hey guys, it's Damak here and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are on F1 2017. This is my first video going out on the new game, and it is of course career mode. Now I put up a vote for you guys on a previous video, and you have voted for Haas. It was Haas and Toro Rosso joint. It's on the screen right now, but I've chosen Haas because mostly other people are going for Toro Rosso, so I thought I'd mix it up and go for Haas F1 team. Now, as you can see, the third worst team on the grid, but our goal is to make them top 5 team at least by the end of the season. And my teammate at Haas will be Kevin Magnussen. So let's head into this career mode. We will be doing full qualifying with a 50% race, and the driver AI level will be on 95, but it will probably go up throughout the season as I will be getting better at the game.
Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs the contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice. I just needed to cover a couple of quick things with you before you race. Firstly, as requested, is a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards. You're second driver for now, but work hard, hit your targets, and I'll be able to sweeten the deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure from these will be great for your image. Plus, you'll get to drive some nice historic cars. Now then, go get ready for the next session, and good luck.
So we're in practice 1 now, and as you can see, there are a lot new practice programs here. We've got fuel saving and race strategy. I mean, it's only 2, but we had 3 last year, so I guess it's an additional one. We're just going to head out now and do the track acclimatization. Coming towards the line for the last lap of this program, and we've got a purple score finally. On every other lap we had a red gate, and we finally get the purple score. Coming to the end of our fuel saving run. We've only managed a good fuel saving, and that is alright. As Perez goes up or inside. Okay, so straight after our fuel saving, we're going straight on the quali lap program to see how fast we can go. Coming across the line, and we get a green time there. It says a red time, but in total we got a green result, 9th, so that's alright. Next up, we're going to do the tyre management test and see how we can fare in that. Coming across the line to get a purple average tyre wear in the program.
You got my message. Perfect. Welcome to home away from home. We get more real-time data from the factory now than ever before, and it all comes through here. So I have to spend more time checking over the reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. To that end... Sorry, just a sec. Yeah, Chris, is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Right. Well, that makes no sense. Have Sarah reset the simulation and run it again. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, we've set up a desk for you at the front here. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. And let us know how you want to use the data that we've collected over the weekend and through the practice programs. Also, bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be good. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. And when that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
Okay, so they've given us 2,000 resource points, which is no bad. Alright, let's look at this. So the powertrain, we're the 5th best team. Aerodynamics department, we're the 2nd worst team. Chassis department, we're the 3rd worst. It recommends a front downforce upgrade. I think we're just going to develop the front wing plane right now. We're going to develop that upgrade. It should be done for Bahrain. So that's that done and dusted. Okay, so our first driver rival is our teammate. That's expected, really. Just have to beat our teammate in everything we do. Okay, so as we're just heading into qualifying, our goals are qualifying 15th place or higher and beat my teammate Kevin Magnussen. So they're expecting me to qualify in the lower quarter of the grid, which is a bit annoying, but what can you really do? Let's head in to qualifying 1. So coming across the line in Q1 to finish our lap. Where does it put us on the grid? P13 behind Lance Stroll and in front of Danny Kvyat. Right, if Verline would like to get out the way, that would be great. Okay, that helps just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Stupid back markers, man. He's giving me the toe though, I think, down the bit dirty air as well. But down the main straight to finish our 2nd lap in Q1 puts us P12 behind Esteban Ocon and in front of Carlos Sainz. That is a good place to be when there's only 10 seconds left of Q1. Okay guys, so I don't understand this, but it's the end of Q1. Kimi Raikkonen tops the session. My teammate Magnussen jumps up to P8 after us putting him down to like P17 or whatever it was. And if we go down, we can see ourselves, we've been knocked out. That lap that put us 12th, obviously I underestimated the amount of racers that were on the track doing our laps. And we've been put down to P16. And we're out of Q1 by about a 10th from Esteban Ocon. Well, fair play to you, Magnussen, for getting through to Q2, but it's unfortunate. I didn't believe I needed to go out for another lap in Q1, so that's why I came back into the pits, but that's just unfortunate. So anyway guys, let's head in to the Australian Grand Prix.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen, Massa, Stroll, Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, Ocon, Sainz, Jolyon Palmer and Magnussen, Kvyat and a Haas, Fernando Alonso and Pascal Wehrlein, Ericsson and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Here we are on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the race strategy. The higher tyre management, as you can see there, consists of a soft run to about lap 16 and then a super soft run till the end. And a low tyre management consists of 2 stops but will take about 6 seconds longer, with a super soft to ultra soft twice. We're going to up the fuel a bit. And the forecast looks okay, it doesn't look to be raining. So let's head out and onto the formation lap for round 1. Oh, it feels so weird to be at the back. It just does. We're now lining up on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix with Kvyat in front of us, Alonso behind us and Van Dorn rounding off the grid. We've got the lights illuminating above us now. We've got 5 red lights and it's lights out, and away we go for round 1 of the 2017 Formula 1 season. We've got off to a good start, pulling alongside Magnussen and alongside Alonso. Down into turn 1 we lock the two fronts into turn 1. Magnussen nearly cuts me off. We have to brake, and this loses us time, and the back end nearly kicks out on turn 2, which is a problem. And now Verline is looking right outside into turn 3, but can we sneak up the inside of our teammate? Yes, or maybe not. I thought we could, but he stuck around the outside there. Usually in the last game they gave you the space there, but now we're still in P16 behind Magnussen. So let's see what we can do with this. Bottas sets the fastest lap as we're following Magnussen into the final corner. Will we get any dirty air? I think we did just then. So back end stepped out. Starting lap 3 then, and DRS is now enabled. Right on the back of our teammate. We don't get DRS here, but we will be able to overtake him. Can we? Into turn 3, down the inside of our teammate Magnussen. Gone deep, and that is P15. We've taken it from our teammate, and that's one of our goals. That's both of our goals complete if we just stay in this position, but I really want points this race. It looks unlikely as the group ahead of Parma are pulling away. We just need to dispose of this Renault as soon as we can, and just push. Really, that's all we can do. So let's watch a replay of the start of round 1 of the season. Vettel on pole with the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas alongside him. It was Bottas who got off to a magnificent start, beating the Ferrari off the line and taking the lead down into turn 1. Hamilton challenged Vettel down to turn 1, but Vettel kept around the outside, and Kimi Raikkonen nearly got sandwiched by both the Red Bulls, but he gets away with no damage. So let's watch the start of the Australian Grand Prix from Fernando Alonso's perspective. Starting in P17 behind myself, he got off to a great start with hardly any wheel spin, pulled alongside our teammate Magnussen, but what did we do? We went down the middle of both of them. Magnussen cut the curb into turn 1, made us slow. Alonso got overtaken by Verline cheekily up the inside from Pascal. We went wide into 2, which let Verline attack us into turn 3, and Alonso was just sitting behind waiting for something to happen. He cheekily dived up the inside of Verline, and then you think that's a move done, but no, Verline's still up the inside of Alonso. Alonso P17 now. He leaves Verline the space, which is good sportsmanship, but they're still side by side coming down to turn 6. You'd think now Alonso would shut the door, but no, he leaves the space for Verline, which lets Verline get him down into turn 9 due to Alonso's Honda engine, I'm guessing. Verline got round the outside and then had the inside and just purred away on the straight down to turn 11 and 12 thanks to his old Ferrari engine, but you'd think Alonso would still have something. The DRS isn't helping us too much, but it's closed us in to Parma. Into turn 1, can we get a good exit and get the DRS down to turn 3? Can we make a similar move as to what we did to our teammate? Gonna go up the inside of Julian Parma, turn 3, and that is job done. P14. Next up is Danny Kvyat. He started a place ahead of me in this race. He's going to be a bit harder to overtake, I believe, the Torpedo, and as well because he's in the Toro Rosso. Right, so we just about caught this train on lap 5. Even though we are behind Kvyat and we've just made a move on him. Okay, then. Even though I was going to say it's going to be tricky to pass Kvyat as he's on the faster tires compared to us. And that was a complete demonstration on why it is going to be harder to overtake him, as he does fight around the outside, as he does have that extra grip. Or does he have that extra grip? I don't know. He does at the time anyway, not just now. There's yellow flags. There seems to be a car out. That's Lance Stroll. Stroll, the Williams, is out of the race. He's pulled out just in front of where we were. And that's unfortunate for the Canadian driver, as we're fighting the car around the final corner. There's no safety car or anything for that retirement, as he parked off in a safe enough position. So as Lance Stroll was in P8 leading this pack, coming through turn 11 and 12, On the run down to turn 13, his engine blew up, and that's really unfortunate for the Canadian in his debut race in Formula 1. He pulled over at turn 13 in the runoff and was smart enough not to cause a safety car. Oh, that was so close. That was so close to smashing into that wall on the exit of turn 4. We've lost a bit of time to Kvyat after that, so we've got to push and catch up to the Russian again. We're currently in P9 as a few cars have made their pit stops, and it's currently lap 7, so we're going quite well. Hey, where's my teammate off to? What happened to Magnussen? Alright, Magnus has just disappeared. So let's see what happened to my teammate Magnussen as Kimi Räikkönen was behind him. Coming to start lap 11 now. Räikkönen had the DRS. He went to overtake Magnussen down into turn 1. Magnussen locked both his front tyres, went wide, came back on and just stopped. I don't know why he didn't carry on there, but that's a very, very dangerous place to stop. Oh, a Sauber hit him. I believe that was Wehrlein. So a very dangerous place to stop. And I'm surprised that wasn't a virtual safety car. So looking at Pascal Wehrlein's view of the incident, coming towards turn 1 with Massa in the background. Massa made a move, even though we're under yellow flag conditions. Massa taps Wehrlein wide and Wehrlein hits my teammate. Thankfully Wehrlein didn't retire, but Felipe Massa has been handed a stop-go penalty for that incident. And for ignoring yellow flags as well. So that's very, very stupid from Massa. So Räikkönen is on the back of us down into turn 13. He's gone round the outside of us. We're not battling him. And he's a first team driver. We're kind of the junior team of Ferrari. So okay, so Räikkönen's got past us. Oh, we've nearly lost it there. And we've got DRS and Verstappen's going to make a move down into turn 1. A very bold move from Max Verstappen. Is he going to keep it into turn 1? We're going to give him the space. Yes, but he's barged us out wide. And now we've got the DRS again. He also has DRS. And here comes Palmer around the outside down into turn 3. We're not going to be able to get Verstappen back. He's a much faster car. And Palmer is still there. We've got to give him the room. We've run a bit wide. And we're down to P8 now. But Palmer is still behind us, which is good. Our fellow Brit. Down in turn 3 now. Palmer's got DRS. We're going to defend the inside line. He's going to go round the outside, I think. No, we forced him out wide. We're going to box in this lap. So we're into the pits now. And Ricciardo's following us. So I think Ricciardo got some damage earlier on in the lap. And he's into the pits now. So it's us versus the Renault boys now. We're out. And we're ahead of Ricciardo, as there's a Force India there, as we release the pit limiter perfectly. We're out in P12 behind Fernando Alonso. We're right behind Alonso, lap 17 out of 29. There's 13 laps to go. I apologise for not speaking that much in the pits. I was more concentrated on getting a perfect launch out of the pit box and getting the pit limiter off successfully. So we're now chasing down Fernando Alonso for P11 in this race. Magnussen is holding up Alonso, which helps us massively as we're coming down the penultimate corner. Magnussen's going so slow. Magnussen pulls into the pit lane. We've only got Alonso to navigate now. And there's cars in the pit lane now. This does elevate us into the points, and it's Lewis Hamilton coming out the pits now. Oh, so close to colliding with the Brit, as we're now got DRS on Fernando Alonso coming down to turn 3. Will we make a move? No, we can't. I'm not going to risk that. That's a bit dodgy. Anyway, we've got the McLaren in front of us, which will probably be holding up a train if I can't pass him within this lap. We've got Hamilton behind us, and I believe that's Perez behind Hamilton. Alonso going very slow due to his Honda power. We're going to go round the outside, down into turn 11. We've made it stick perfectly, and we're up into P8 of this race. Next up is Danny Kvyat, who's on the soft tire right now. I doubt we'll be able to catch him as he's miles up the road. Hamilton has navigated his way past the McLaren Honda and is now on the back of us down into turn 11 and 12. We've blocked him. And he's fallen behind a bit. Sergio Perez is now onto the Mercedes right now. Hamilton's having a made of a race so far. As we're coming onto the straight to start lap 24, I'm looking at the components and the ICE. I don't know if this is good or bad, but the ICE has 28% wear. I don't know if I'm completely frying this part or if that's just normal for the Haas. And the MGUH is at 25% wear. As I said before, I don't know if that's good or bad. So hopefully it can last for another 2 weekends and probably swap out in Bahrain for a new part. Kevin Magnussen, my teammate, he's out of the race. What has happened to Kevin Magnussen? If you look to the right of your screen now, you can see Kevin Magnussen parked off at turn 1, turn 2. So I believe it is an engine failure, but we'll take a look at it anyway. So as Magnussen is following Ericsson on lap 25 of the Grand Prix, as you can see a puff of smoke comes out as he goes onto the curb there. Coming towards turn 1 now with a Renault behind him, tries to overtake Ericsson, and then his engine just blows up and he has to pull over at the side of the track. That's really unfortunate, but looks like we're going to beat him in this race anyway. So we're on our final lap now, lap 29 out of 29. It's been a very steady race after our pit stop. We've caught about 6-7 seconds up to Kvyat, but it's unfortunately there's just not enough time left in the race as the gap is 8.8 seconds. Sebastian Vettel wins the race for Ferrari, just like real life he did, but we're currently in P8 heading for an 8th place finish. 4 points to our tally. We've just stuck it in lean for the final part of this lap just to save a bit of fuel as we are 0.1 up. Anyway, coming round turn 15, the penultimate corner, now turn 16, the final corner. After starting P16, we're going to finish the race in P8 for 4 points in the championship.
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium.
So Sebastian Vettel wins round 1 of the 2017 Formula 1 Championship ahead of Valtteri Bottas by 2 seconds. His teammate Kimi Raikkonen joins Vettel on the podium just ahead of Max Verstappen in P4. Esteban Ocon, his debut for Force India, finishes in P5, a brilliant result. Carlos Sainz and Danny Kvyat bring home a brilliant result for Toro Rosso as well. We were closing into them, but we finish in P8 ahead of Sergio Perez and Felipe Massa, who rounds off the points. Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo, a very disappointing race for them both in P11 and P12. So Alonso doesn't get lapped and finishes P14. Nico Hülkenberg gets lapped and finishes behind Alonso, even though his fastest lap is 2 seconds faster than the McLaren Honda. And at the back, you can see Stoffel van Dorn, P16, Marcus Ericsson, P17, and Pascal Wehrlein rounds off the finishers in P18. My teammate Kevin Magnussen and Williams driver Lance Stroll retire from the race after engine failures. So the driver standings are obviously the same as the race results, but the constructors standings, Ferrari are leading on 40 points, and 22 points behind Ferrari are Mercedes. After Hamilton did not score, they have to rely on Bottas' second place for their only points. Toro Rosso are in third ahead of their sister team Red Bull. Force India are in fifth position, joint on points with Red Bull after that. We are in sixth place after our 8th place finish in that race. Williams have 1 point after Stroll DNF, Massa gets P10. McLaren, Renault and Sauber unable to score in this race. So we got 124 resource points after that race. And in the rivalry, we are currently leading from 5-3 over our teammate Magnussen.
Is this the one?
Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars per se, it's a mere detail. You know, I'd really rather be down there racing them myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral G's, you know? The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. And that's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good and, most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. I'll see you at the track.
Now, I'd just like to step into my office. I'd like to go over those contracts.
So choose your preference. We're going to go for pursuit this time. I've seen a lot of people do overtake challenge. I haven't seen much do pursuit. So we're going to head into the 2006 Renault. Let's do this. So our goal for this is to finish in first place. We have to overtake all the slower cars in 3 laps. Come on, let's go. This is annoying. We've got 5 red lights. And we're off for this pursuit. I haven't driven a classic car in this game yet, so this is my first try. They feel a lot lighter than this year's cars anyway. It's not giving me much time really. Michael skiing the Williams. Can we go round the outside? Made a bit of contact with him. That's alright though. We've gotten a warning for that. Alright. Next up, heading into the final lap now. We've got Sari in the 1998 McLaren ahead of us. And I believe that's a Ferrari as well. But I don't believe we'll be able to catch first place. Right, can we go round the outside of Sari? I believe we can. A bit of contact again. And he's closed us. He's closed us. That Ferrari. And next up is this McLaren. We've got a warning for every car we've passed. We're onto the grass a bit. This 88 McLaren. Can we go round the outside of Ati yet? Yes, we can. And we've done it. I mean, it's not been the cleanest of pursuits, but there we go. We've done it. We've finished it with our goal. So that's great. A nice wee experience of a classic car as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this first episode. Please leave a like and subscribe for more F1 2017 content in the following days. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time out in China.